What's going on, boys? Swaggy here. So now, any for dudes, go ahead and get to the today. So today, somebody recommended me this video that just came out. It is called a completely black screen. Okay, I'll be right back in a second here. Okay, there it is. Yeah. So today we went to a new Bizabizow song, or not Bizabizow song, a new Bizabizow video. The search for FNAF's lost music box songs. So then, for dudes, let's get down to it. So overall, please go check out Bizabizow. They're making a ton of amazing content, and I've reacted to a lot of their other stuff, especially a lot of their FNAF plushies. Overall, I think those were my favorite. But aside from that, though, here are the actual, links, because grandfather clock, yes, clips and footage used, music credit, art credit right there, music used. Please go check out everybody involved. Y'all work really hard and deserve support. Without any further ado, let's continue the actual video. No more distractions.
Ask you to sing that song from Five Nights at Freddy's, what song would you sing? I think for most of you out there, this is what you immediately thought of when I said that.
Yeah.
This hummed in a silly Freddy-esque voice, of course, is the Toreador March, a classical French tune originating from Act 2 of the 1875 opera Carmen by Georges Bizet. If you're like me, then you'd have already heard this tune in other media way before you even knew what a Freddy Fazbear was. After all, I was raised on Baby Einstein as a kid, which was essentially our version of Cocomelon, just with classical music, because apparently that's supposed to make you smart as a baby. This is, of course, why I've grown up to have such a large, intelligent brain as an adult, clearly. For the kids of today, though, I think it's quite likely that Five Nights at Freddy's is what they know this melody from, even more so now that it's a huge meme. And this is all because a music box cover of this song happened to be chosen as the little jingle Freddy plays before he kills you in the first game.
Oh, yeah.
The inclusion of these creepy little music box melodies adds so much to the atmosphere of those original games.
It really
There's
does.
many iconic ones. You have the previously mentioned Toreador March, but there's also ones like FNAF 2's Prize Corner music box. It's an old music box cover of the song Grandfather's Clock.
Oh, that's sick. Grandfather's clock. Hold on. Give me a second here. I'll be right back. I really need to, I almost forgot about something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I had to quickly go do something. Anyway, let's continue onward. No more distractions. Okay.
But some of my favorite examples are just a smidge less known. Those minigame songs from FNAF 3. Much like those classical tunes from FNAF 1 and 2, the ones featured in 3 have all been identified and attributed to various classical composers, like Charles Gounod's Fêterie Mes Aveux in BB's Balloon Adventure. I'm so sorry for that pronunciation.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty good. I couldn't have said any better, so.
And Tchaikovsky's Flight of the Swans from the musical Swan Lake in the Stage 01 minigame.
I knew about a few of these, especially like Swan Lake. Swan Lake. That's great. But,
the FNAF Wiki has a page for each FNAF game's soundtrack that chronicles every track's name, who they were composed by, and where they came from, if applicable. And this includes all of those classical music box melodies. However, if you go to FNAF 3's page right now, you'll find something kind of unexpected. For two of these minigame songs, Mangle's Quest and Chica's Party, you'll find this. The original title for this music is unknown. Wait, what? Yeah, apparently no one actually knows what these two specific classical melodies are. We do for all the others, but not these two. This was a really big surprise to me. I had kind of always assumed that since all of these recordings came from the same stock library, that the original title and composers were already very well known and documented by this point, but apparently not. I was actually working on a completely different video when I stumbled onto this. It was going to be about the history of FNAF's music, which I still may make at some point, but this discovery that two of FNAF's music box songs from one of the original games still haven't been fully identified in the year 2024 immediately piqued my attention. My first thought that some of you might also be having was, why haven't I heard about this? The way the FNAF fanbase is, I can't believe this wasn't already a topic of intrigue in the community. After all, there's been similar searches related to other non-lore mysteries, like that one supposed lost variant for the original FNAF trailer that people were looking for. Like, sure.
I will say, sorry for pausing, But like I will say, I am really surprised that there was nobody already looking for that. If there was, then it was very discreet, and I do think that's because of all the other lore that has been built up in more recent series, and especially with the lack of focus, I would say, on the actual music of FNAF, since a lot of it does really kind of focus on some sort of like just old timey kind of just old timey like what's it called uh like old timey tunes basically. But yeah, I will say overall I'm really excited to see where she goes, where Bizabizow goes with this, and overall, let's continue. I'm more distracting.
Surely there couldn't be something as ripe for speculation as Lost Five Nights at Freddy's song Origins.
Exactly.
Just out there in the open, unexplored until now, but I guess there is. So I decided to take this into my own dainty hands and make a video about it to see
Yes,
if I could
sir.
possibly get it solved, or at least to let people know this is a thing, because I'm pretty sure a majority of the FNAF fanbase doesn't even know this has been an unsolved mystery for 9 years, much like myself. Yeah, FNAF 3 is getting close to being a decade old, by the way.
Damn.
That's... wow. Huh. So here's everything that we know so far. As I mentioned before, we already know what stock sound library all of these recordings come from. In fact, a majority of the sounds and songs used in the first 4 FNAF games were sourced from a specific place, sounddogs.com, a stock audio library site. Because of this and the many decompilings of these games that have been performed over the years, we have file names attached to each. Let me go ahead and play each of these for you alongside their names. Here's that Mangle's Quest song. Which you might also recognize as the prize counter claw music from Help Wanted, by the way. And here's the original uncompressed recording from Sound Dogs, titled 1870 Swiss Music Box with Bells, Parlor Music.
Huh. So this one doesn't have the actual official title of the song. It just has this sort of makeshift title. We know it's Swiss.
And here's the Chica's party song. And the uncompressed version from Sound Dogs, 1805 Swiss Music Snuff Box, Traditional Folk Song.
Another Swiss music one. Yeah, Traditional Folk Song. That's where they got the title from there. Traditional Folk Song.
Both of these, as well as a decent chunk of the other Music Box recordings used in these first 3 games, are a part of a specific stock album called the Music Box Collection by Hot Ideas Inc. And as you may have noticed, none of them have the actual song titles as their file name. Toreador March is labeled as 1905 Regina Music Box Classical Overture, and Fête Misez-vous, the one from BB's Balloon Adventure, is 1880 Music Box with Bells Waltz About, which are, decidedly not their names. Both of those examples, however, are pretty well-known classical compositions, hence why they were able to be identified so quickly. Our 2 recordings in question, though, are clearly a lot more obscure, given the fact that no one has seemed to recognize them yet. Or if anyone has, they just assumed that someone else had documented this before them and didn't think to do it themselves.
Facts.
Although they don't give us the name of the pieces or their composers, these file names aren't at all useless though, as they each list a date, a description of the type of music box that the songs were played on, and a vague genre. For instance, Les Crochets de Monastre. I'm so sorry. The ending song from FNAF 2 specifically lists that it was recorded from a 1905 metal disc music box, a type of music box that uses a record-like disc instead of the traditional cylinder. And after looking this up with the song name, we can see that this music box matches what we hear in the recording. So, theoretically, if we were to use these brief descriptions to find the original music boxes that were used in these 2 recordings, this should lead us to the original song titles. The Mangle's Quest file name says that this was a Swiss music box with bells from around 1870. Music boxes with additional bells built inside them are actually pretty common. In fact, you can find music boxes that contain several other instruments as well, like organs and even drums. This description is certainly accurate because if you listen to the recording, you can clearly hear these bells in action. Listen here for the louder, higher-pitched notes that echo longer, and you can see what I mean.
Yep. You can you hear the striking of the bells.
After listening to it
long,
several
like
times, I was able to pick out at least
harmonics from
7 different bell notes, so this music box should at least have that many bells, although it could have more. This description also lists this tune as parlor music, a type of music that was popular during the Victorian era, which lines up with our date of 1870, so searching for music of that type could potentially lead somewhere. However, it is also possible that the genres attributed in these titles here are just whatever the music box cover sounded like to the person or persons who compiled them, and doesn't describe genres of the original compositions. We can't really know though, because again, we don't know the original song. What about the Chica's Party song, though? This one is also listed as Swiss in origin, but from much earlier, around 1805, and lists the music box as specifically a snuff box. No, this doesn't have anything to do with murder, but rather tobacco. So I guess still related, as Dare and those truth commercials would have us believe. Snuff boxes were small decorated containers that were used to hold sniffing tobacco that were popular during the 18th century. Because of their fancy, appealing designs, some were turned into musical snuff boxes that contained music box mechanisms. So, in other words, snuff music boxes are the tiny ones with lids, small enough to fit in a pocket or a purse. You can even tell listening to this with how tinny and high-pitched the recording sounds. It just kind of sounds small.
Yeah, it sounds tiny.
This one is listed as a traditional folk song, so it's very likely that this is, in fact, a melody originally from a traditional Swiss folk song. Or, once more, could just be an approximation based on how the recording sounds. However, after having listened to many different folk songs from Switzerland, it definitely does sound like one. In particular, I'd be willing to bet that this melody was meant to be yodeled originally, due to how many yodel folk songs sound strikingly similar to this tune in speed and structure.
That was slick.
It sounds so much like that style to me, I feel like it has to be yodeling. I can hear it being yodeled so clearly in my head and everything. I would be surprised if it ended up not being yodeling, but that's just my take as someone who doesn't know that much about yodeling. I'm not a yodeler. I've never yodeled. Let's see how many times I can say the word yodel in this video. Unfortunately, though, this is just about all the information we can glean from these titles alone. And from a bit of research, it seems that there are a lot of music boxes and songs that fit these descriptions that can be found on YouTube alone. There's this particular channel I found, Vincent Freeman Antiques, that has a very impressive collection of footage of various antique music boxes, many of them being Swiss and from around the relative era that these two are stated to be from. In fact, there's about 345 videos on this channel alone, and assuming that these are all different music boxes, that's a lot to comb through. I did do some keyword searching on the channel, looking up these years and music box types, and out of all the videos I watched, I couldn't find a match. That was just from my quick searches that I did though, so definitely possible that I could have missed something. That being said, this is just one channel I found. There's definitely a lot more music box content out there to search through, and that's something that's pretty difficult to brute force. If you want to try though, be my guest. Fair warning though, listen.
Yeah, trying to find a specific music box that you don't have the name for, that you only have the model, what kind of song it's playing, and of course, probably where it's from. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Because yes, if you miss any one of the important ingredients that the song might potentially have, you could be looking up at a completely different type of song. You can literally be, like, if it didn't have like traditional folk song for the Chica's party, it would just be like 1870 or 1805 music, snuff music box, or a Swiss music box. It's probably snuff box. And that's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Listening to nothing but music box music for long periods of time can start to drive you a little crazy from my experience. Just, don't do this in a secluded shack in the middle of the woods or something. From looking at this Vincent Freeman Antiques channel and their website, though, it seems like this person or persons probably know their stuff and has a lot of expertise on the subject of antique music boxes. I mean, you would kind of just have to be with a collection as big as this. So I figured it might be worth a shot to contact them just in case they might know anything. I shot them an email with the 2 recordings asking if they happened to recognize either tune or if they at least had any other information to offer that could possibly help me in my search to identify their titles and composers. And don't worry, I didn't mention FNAF at all. However, as of the recording of this video, they have not responded, which is okay. It was worth a shot. However, after this, I thought it may make more sense to attempt contact with Hot Ideas Inc. themselves, the publisher of this stock sound album, and see if they happen to have any info archived. It's probably unlikely that they'd still have information as to what the song titles were of the music boxes they recorded from, but you'd never know. I found their website, and damn, they produced a lot of stock albums.
Yeah.
We got a patriotic salute to President Barack Obama that has either been featured in the film Oliver Stone's W or Paul Blart Mall Cop. I wonder which one that was.
Crazy.
Also, one just called Gamer. I don't like that one. I found their
that's a
email here
horrifying
and
image.
did reach out to them. However, not only did I not get a response, I was notified by Google that my email didn't even go through. This email address is probably completely deactivated, and that kind of makes me wonder if this company is even around anymore, but oh well, I tried. I do want to stress, by the way, please do not attempt to contact either Vincent Freeman Antiques or Hot Ideas Inc. yourselves. I don't want a bunch of people bothering them about this silly FNAF thing, especially not Vincent Freeman Antiques, as they literally have no actual connection to this. I sent my emails. They can respond to me if they choose. I don't think you need to do the same. Thank you. I just don't want another MatPat ARG scenario to happen.
Yeah.
Also, worth mentioning that Scott Cawthon himself probably has no idea what the origins of these are either. He literally just got these from an audio library, so don't bother him about it either. There are just a few more vague potential leads that I want to mention. I was glancing through some of the comments on an upload of the Mangle's Quest song, and there was a couple that kind of caught my eye. First was this. I heard this in Mickey Mouse, the Carnival Kid, 1929, when Mickey was catching the hot dog to spank it.
What?
Which, out of context, is a wild-ass comment, but this is a real thing they're talking about. I looked up this specific cartoon, and sure enough, there is some music that plays before Mickey Mouse spanks his hot dog.
Damn.
However, although it's kinda similar,
Spank the hot
I'm
dog.
confident
That's
that this isn't the song. If anything, it sounds more like that bicycle song from Pokemon. But this did make me realize there are a lot of old cartoons that use classical music, even the super obscure ones. So
That's
it's very
true.
possible that there's some old cartoon out there that just happens to
getting
use
folded.
either one of these tunes. Not the music box versions, of course, but the originals. There were also several comments saying that this Mangle's Quest tune in particular reminded them a lot of an ice cream truck jingle. And I have to agree, this music box cover in particular sounds just like something you'd hear coming out of an ice cream truck.
Facts. I can
Maybe not
imagine
the
that.
Chica's Party one, though. That one feels
Yeah.
just a little too hectic to me.
Yeah. No, that,
So
like,
maybe that
that-
route could be worth searching as
maybe a
well.
good time
Maybe
speed or
there's some
something like that.
archives of traditional ice cream truck music out there or something. Both of these possibilities are really vague and probably unhelpful, though, honestly. I just wanted to mention them in the off chance that someone out there happened to have heard these songs from either one of these places and it jogs their memory hearing it. So, all that
We can
being
only
said, how do we find these songs? Well, as I said before, I think the best way would simply be to track down which music boxes they were recorded from. In my small amount of searching, I probably didn't even scratch the surface in terms of what's out there even just on YouTube. There's a lot to go through, so I think making more attempts in that front could result in something. Another approach might be to simply look for the original songs themselves by combing through Swiss parlor music and traditional folk songs. Once again, there's a lot available
Yeah,
on
that would
YouTube
take
alone.
forever,
I
though.
found several playlists, some in the triple digits and video count, compiling many of each genre. So if someone out there wanted to take the time to go through all these, it could very much be there. Both of these methods are pretty laborious and tedious though, so if either of these songs are found because of this video, it'll probably be that someone heard it and just happened to know. That seems to be how a lot of these types of lost song mysteries end, so getting the simple
That
fact
does
out there
end up
that we're
happening a lot.
looking for these songs may just be all that we need. Hell, if any of you out there have Swiss friends, have them take a listen too, see if they recognize it. Who knows?
big
That's
two.
unfortunately all we have right now. If any of you watching have any information to provide, definitely let me know. I do want to stress again though, don't contact anyone I already mentioned in this video, and if you happen to come across any similar leads, please behave. I really don't want random people out there getting their inboxes flooded with messages asking about dumb FNAF shit. Please be normal for me, is all I ask. If this gets solved or if there's any other major developments, I'll definitely follow this up, so be on the lookout just in case.
Cool.
This is definitely a different type of upload than I normally make. It was just one of those things I came across, saw no one else had talked about it, and felt compelled to make a short video on. So if you liked it, be sure to let me know. Also, I'm like painfully close to 200k subscribers. I've been like right under it for over a year now. Just help me put the 100ks out of their misery already, just please. Anyway, I'm gonna go listen to music that has literally any other instruments in it. I am sick of music box music right now.
Okay.
And I'd like to thank my skrunklies over on Patreon. Thank you for supporting me.
But yeah, facts. Overall, that's really interesting. We haven't really found those two songs. That's really surprising. Especially with how the the actual FNAF community has been kind of just breaking down these entire games and looking through like every frame in detail just to find out, oh, is this part of the lore? Can this be part of the lore? And it's really surprising that they didn't get to the actual music boxes or the actual kind of just the music of the the mini games in FNAF 3, especially with how important they are. They are very important to the lore, and they do kind of display sort of sort of mysterious nature to them, and especially with these musics as well, they could have been digested, kind of broken down, and then of course kind of just maybe used as like some more evidence as to why this proves this or why that proves that. But I'm really surprised we haven't really come across that. But aside from that, though, overall, let me just go ahead and give my more in-depth thoughts on the actual video stuff here. I really can't go with the actual just my general thoughts. So let's just go in depth and we'll distraction to get into it. So overall, sorry, that really threw me off. This is a way longer video than I thought it was gonna be. Like I said, first of all, go check out the actual video stuff here. Link down below. Of course, another link with the end card at the video. But like I said, go ahead and check out the actual video stuff here. They work really hard to support. And of course, if you made it to this point of the actual video stuff here, hit the like button and subscribe, as it helps out so much for the channel stuff. Helps me out a ton, so please consider doing that. And of course, without further ado, we're already really close to 2K. So of course, if you want to go ahead and like Bizabizow said, put the 1K in a grave, and just help pack it up faster. Like I said, hit the like button. But aside from that, though, like I said, just go ahead and check out the actual video stuff here. And of course, notification bell if you want to be notified for any future video that does come out from this channel. And of course, aside from that, though, also go ahead and hit the comment section down below. Let me know your opinions on the actual stuff here. And of course, if you do recognize the tune, of course, I would say let Bizabizow know. Go on their channel, let them know in the comment down below. Or of course, if you want to leave a comment down below to say that you recognize this song, of course, go ahead and say that. And aside from that, though, without further ado, let's get into the actual second part of the video stuff here. So, for this part of the video stuff, what I kind of get into, I kind of just get more into depth on the actual video stuff here, starting off with the actual, just in general, topic itself. Then, of course, going on to, the sort of presentation of this topic. And, of course, ending off with the actual editing of the video stuff here. So, without further ado, let's get on to it. So starting off with the topic itself, the topic itself that they chose being, these two lost medias, or these two lost musics, just song names. It's really interesting because overall, I'm really surprised that we haven't found these songs earlier. It's really, really interesting. The part of the music used in Mango's Quest, and of course the traditional folk song used in Chica's Party. Both of those were really important, by the way. I would say those are like all the FNAF 3 minigames are kind of important because they do kind of demonstrate, oh, the animatronic, the souls are getting cake, becoming free, like they're finding peace, and that's really important. So I'm really surprised that we haven't found anything that details the songs or like why hasn't anyone found the song, anything like that, especially since it's been almost like 10 years since FNAF 3 came out. Which is crazy. Though to be fair, it's been almost 10 years since FNAF 1 came out. I think FNAF 1 and 2 came out like a relatively like the same amount of time, right? Hold on. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I gotta research this. I'll be right back. Oh wow, it's been 10 years since FNAF 1 came out. Oh, well, almost 10 years. We're approaching there. August August, like in 2 months, I would say. No, 3 months. In 3 months, FNAF will be 10 years old. That is, that is actually insane. But aside from that, yeah, I think FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 came out like around the relatively same time, like with like a few months in disparity. Yeah, FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 came out relatively the same time, and of course FNAF 3 came out a year later. But of course, that's a different topic for another day. Like I said, sorry about that. Like I said, just overall, like I said, the actual topic that they pick here, the actual just music itself here is overall a really important topic, and I do say that I love a lot of FNAF, just FNAF music, especially like the little suspension music that we get from the actual game itself here, and overall, it's really interesting. But aside from that, though, overall, I would say, aside from the actual music itself here, I do appreciate the research, and of course, I'm for this. Go ahead and get to the actual yeah, let's get into the actual presentation itself. Let's get into it. So overall, I think Bizabizow did an amazing job presenting this, and even though there wasn't a solid, a solid conclusive answer, I do think it sort of opens the door for for us to really dig deep and try to find this these two lost music names and stuff like that, or these two lost songs. And I would say that if we do end up finding it because of Bizaw, because of Bizabizow's video, I would not be surprised. But aside from that, though, like I said, just overall, I'm really, really, really happy about how they presented this overall. Like I said, they really presented this in an amazing way. I was not really bored. They brought up a lot of really interesting topics, and they overall, just like I said, presented this in so many great ways. Hold on, I'm going to go to like a specific scene right here. I think this is my favorite part right here.
Both of these, as well as a decent chunk of the other music box recordings used in these first 3 games, are a part of a specific stock album called the Music Box Collection by Hot Ideas Inc. And as you may have noticed, none of them have the actual song titles as their file name. Toreador March is labeled as 1905 Regina Music Box Classic.
Like I said, they transitioned from like talking about how just all the music boxes were part of one collection to how just how the Toreador March was named and how it appeared on the actual just audio file that they found. And overall, that's so slick. That's so smooth. They're transitioning from that scene to this scene is overall immaculate. By the way, I love it. But aside from that, though, like I said, their topic is not only interesting and overall has a lot of ways you can present it, but also just in general, the way that Bizabizow presents it and of course discusses it is overall really cool, and I overall really enjoy it. So overall, if you guys didn't enjoy it, like I said, let me know. But aside from that, overall, I really did enjoy it. But aside from that, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the actual editing of the video itself here. Let's get on to it. So overall, like I said, the editing itself here goes crazy. I love it. It's so good. Like I said, I only wish I could get as good as editing, like as Bizabizow is, as because I'm trash. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I'm not gonna lie, I'm bad at it. So now, like such as overall, like I said, the editing itself, it goes crazy. I love it. I love how they're presenting these images above a background, including the shadow and stuff like that. But aside from that, though, like I said, just overall, I love the the inclusion of segments of gameplay, segments where they present these sort of like not only the lettering itself here, but also just like Wikipedia, like Wikipedia pages, like old commercials, old videos, and old YouTube like channels and stuff like that. I love it. That's so cool, so nice, and in general, adds so much diversity in just the actual video stuff, and of course, gives me something to look at. And overall, I can imagine that Bizabizow went on YouTube, search up Swiss Music Box for like maybe like around 3 hours trying to find this song, and of course just wasn't successful. And of course, I think this might be some footage that she might have recorded of herself trying to find it, or if she didn't find it. So I don't know. But aside from that, like I said, the editing itself here goes crazy. I love it. It's so well done over in general. Really nice to look at. But that intro that basically does end up the actual video itself. So like I said, go check it out. Link down below, end card right there. I'm leaving you 2 links to get to that original video, so please go check it out. And aside from that, though, another end card right there. So like I said, go check it out as well, right there. But aside from that, though, like I said, link down below for another, like I said, link down below as well. But aside from that, hit the like button and subscribe, as it helps us so much. Channel helps me out a ton, and over in general, just really, kind of just help the channel suffer. Anyways, aside from that, though, like I said, hit the bell icon for the next time I upload. If you're interested in catching the news videos as soon as you can, I will be uploading another video today. So, like I said, I do be on the lookout for that one. But I'm not sure about tomorrow. I got plans for tomorrow. I gotta go, of course, and support a friend that recently came out to not came out as like this sort of like, oh, like I'm this or like I'm that. More like he has an event going on. Like I'm going. It's around the same time that I would usually record videos. So overall, there might be one tomorrow. There might not be one tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. But aside from that, without any further like, just overall. My brain turned off. Sorry about that. Like I said, overall, listen, like, subscribe, notification for the next upload, and of course, go ahead and hit up the comment section down below on whether or not you actually know the song, or if you don't, then of course just comment down below whether you like whether you like the actual video itself here. If you want to see more Bizabizow content, if you don't want to see any more Bizabizow content, honestly, I think I'll be reacting to it nonetheless. Because I do want to see I do want to see the conclusion to the FNAF plushie series. So overall, if they do come up with another one of those, I will be reacting to that. But aside from that, like I said, overall, comment down below whether you liked the videos or if you did, like such, just let me know. But aside from that though, hope you guys had a great day. Take care of yourself, and of course, if you do find out what the song is, of course I would say let Bizabizow know in her comment section down below, or email her if she does have an email down there. Like I said, thank you. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. And of course, I'll be seeing you boys in the next video today. So overall, see you later. Bye bye for now.